Hi friends, sairam app. இது ஒரு green social media. இது Facebook மாதிரி ஒரு social media platform. இதுல pictures, videos and voice chat roomலாம் இருக்கு. இதுல account open பண்ணி verify வாங்குற ஒவ்வொரு users பேர்லயும் ஒரு மரக்கன்று நடப்படும். இத sign up பண்ணி account open பண்ணும்போது verification email வரும். அத verification பண்ணா மட்டும் தான் account open ஆகும். நீங்க என்ன user name கொடுக்குறீங்களோ அதை கொடுத்து தான் login பண்ணணும். email address போடக்கூடாது. account open பண்ணி cover photo, profile picture எல்லாம் வச்சு ரெகுலரா ஆக்டிவேட்டா இருந்தா மட்டும் தான் அது verified accountல எடுத்துக்கொள்ளப்படும். அதர் ஆப்ஸ்ல அப்லோட் பண்ணாத வாட்டர்மார்க் இல்லாத ஓன் கண்டென்ட் வீடியோ போட்டு வெரிஃபை வாங்குற யூசர்ஸ்க்கு கிஃப்ட் உண்டு. அது என்ன கிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கறத அந்த ஆப்ல மெசேஜ் வரும். sairam app லிங்க் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. sairam app iOS and Google Play Storeலயும் இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க.
Raja Yogam. Disciple. What is Brahma Sutra Kuru? Guru. What is Brahman? How is Brahman functioning? From where and how? Is Brahman omnipresent? Has a form and figure? Is it formless or in between? Brahma Sutra Kuru helps the spiritual seekers to realize that Brahman within the self. Here the answers are provided about Brahman, which is God, its form, and the method of realizing it. Brahma Sutra Kuru, Raja Yoga Padasalai, has established lessons based on the instructions laid out by the Siddhas to help the life to avoid taking a body and reach God. Those Siddhas are masters of every art. All of them place great importance on the art of breath control. They had found out that the human life is reduced by the outgoing breath and can be increased by retaining the breath. This process also leads the one who had mastered the art of breath to realize God and attain Jnanam. Disciple. Human beings are tied down by relationships and affections. Why are we feeling fear, anger, undergo sufferings, birth and death cycle? Which is the origin of all these? Who is directing the origin? Guru. You may think that as everyone must die one day, what the wonder in it is. You must clearly understand that only the body takes birth and perishes. However, the life doesn't take birth or perish. Is there a way so that the life doesn't have to take a body? Brahma Sutra Kuru provides guidance for you to realize the answers yourself. Brahman represents the eternal one which is responsible for everything. Sutra means a secret formula. Kuru means a group or a team. Brahma Sutra Kuru imparts instructions to spiritual aspirants on Raja Yogam as prescribed by Siddhar tradition established by pioneer Siddhar Agathiyar, the great saint, Siddhar Thirumolar, the emperor of 8-part Yogam, which is Attanga Yogam, and the author of the famous Thirumandiram, the magnum opus on the Raja Yogam, and all the 18 ancient immortal Siddhas listed in the given figure. There is a misunderstanding about Siddhas among common people. Siddhas were the ones who had reached the pinnacle of Jnanam. They shine as beacons for the spiritual seekers. Here, we provide clarity about their role in God realization. We lead the spiritual seekers along the path of Siddhas according to their instructions, which is called Upadesam, codified in their compositions on how to identify the God within themselves and how to prevent the birth and death cycle. Brahma Sutra Kuru provides guidance to the spiritual seekers in the above. Disciple. What is Yogam? Guru. Yogam is becoming one. It is the practice of combining individual parts into one. It is the third stage of God or self-realization, attaining the ultimate love and bliss. Sariyai, physical purification. Kriyai, inner purification. Yogam, unification with the ultimate. And Jnanam, wisdom, are the 4 stages. The spiritual aspirant moves from the one stage to next, either in the same birth or in many births based on the level of spiritual advancement. However, Siddhar Thirumolar, the emperor of 8-part Yogam, which is Attanga Yogam, has described the 8 parts of the perfection of Yogam in Thirumandiram, his magnum opus on the Raja Yogam, as in the following stanza. Iyam niyamame yennila adanam, iyamam niyamam countless postures, nayamuru pranayamam pratyagaram, the finer pranayamam pratyaharam, sayamigu dharanai dhyananjamadi, the successful dharanai, dhyanam and samadhi. Ayamurum attangamavadu mame are the important parts of the Attanga Yogam. The 8 parts of the Attanga Yogam are Iyamam, bad activities to be avoided, Niyamam, good activities to be followed, Asanam, practicing physical posture, Pranayamam, harnessing and perfection of breath, Pratyaharam, withdrawal of mind and senses, Dharanai, single-minded focus on the 7 yoga chakrams, Dhyanam, withdrawal of the mind inwards and meditation, and Samadhi, union or becoming one with the effulgent divine light. The practitioners must avoid bad activities. It is the first step of the Attanga Yogam or Raja Yogam. The following stanza from Thirumandiram lists the activities to be avoided along with few to be maintained by the practitioners of Raja Yogam. Kollan poi koran, kalaviyilan, yengunan. Raja Yogam practitioners must avoid killing, avoid telling lies, avoid robbery, and maintain good character. Nallan adakkamudayan naducheyya must be a good person with ability to control senses and to render balanced judgment. Vallan paguttu unban, maasilan, kalgamam must share available food, be free from bad habits, alcohol and lust. Illan niyamattu idayil nindrane. Only such a person is said to be qualified to progress from niyamam. However, in the practice of Siddha tradition of Raja Yogam, the yogic breathing practice is followed to raise the primordial energy called Kundalini Shakti stored at the base of our spinal cord called Mooladharam. This stored energy flows up along our spinal cord through an invisible energy channel called Sushmna Nadi to the top of our head called Sahasraram and merges with the Sukshma Bindu called Shivam, the effulgent divine light. This is called the divine copulation of Shivam and Shakti, creating an everlasting bliss and love compared to our human copulation pleasure lasting for few moments. One attains jnanam along with bliss and love in this process. Disciple, what is the foundation of Yogam? Guru. The foundation for the Yogam is getting rid of all desires and attachments. Asai arumingal, asai arumingal. Isanoda ayinum, asai arumingal. Even with God, get rid of desires. Asai padapada ayvarum tunbangal. Desire after desire brings avalanche of sufferings. Asai vidavida, anandamame. Oh, what a bliss on riddance of desires. One should not entertain the thought that one has realized God and become one with Him. Hence the desire and illusion cannot disturb oneself. The illusion is very powerful. God also is a form of illusion. The snake has poison in its teeth, but the poison does not affect the snake. Similarly, God is full of illusion and it does not affect God. One has to annihilate himself to reach God. Only for that person, it is possible to reach God. None of the siddhas, jnanis and saints in the world had properties, enjoyed comforts, had a house and lived in a luxury. Devotion, bhakti, is different from jnanam. Even an iota of attachment or desire on anything in this world will prevent one from attaining God. Disciple, what is dhyanam? Meditation. Guru, in Tamil language, the dhanam means donation. In Tamil, that dhanam became dhyanam, which is meditation, over a period of time. In the 8 parts of Attanga Yogam, founded by Siddhar Thirumolar, the emperor of Attanga Yogam, Dhyanam, withdrawal of the mind, inwards and meditation, is the 7th part coming after Dharanai, which is single-minded focus on the 7 yoga chakrams, to attain the final 8th part of Samadhi, which is union or becoming one with the effulgent divine light. Attanga Yoga Dhyanam, which is meditation, is focusing our mind continuously on the yogic chakrams of our body. It must be performed according to the instructions of a God-realized Raja Yogam Guru. Siddhar Thirumolar defines 2 states of Dhyanam, which is in the following stanza on Attanga Yoga Dhyanam. Varum Adi Ir Ettul Vanda Dhyanam. The Dhyanam is focusing your mind on the 16 original objects, which is 5 basic elements plus 5 senses plus 4 Andhakaranam plus illusion plus life. Poruvada Pundipulan Pogameval. The Dhyana must progress by merging all the above 16 into the mind. Uruvaya Shakti Paradhyanamunnum. The state of focusing on the forms of the Shakti is the Paradhyanam, which is meditating on a form. Guruvar Shiva Dhyanam Yogathin Kure. The state of focusing on the form of the Guru Shiva is the Shiva Dhyanam, which is meditating without a form. When one donated everything to God, what is there remaining in this world for them? If one needs to reach God, then they must lose themselves. If one is in the mire of this material world, then there is no chance for them to reach God. Disciple, how to do Dhyanam, which is meditation? Guru, nobody could do real Dhyanam. Dhyanam is a process where one may not know what they are doing or without the thought that I am doing meditation. You should know what you're doing till you take your position for meditation. After that, within few minutes, you must forget yourself. This is real meditation. When you are meditating in your home, even if somebody removes things from your home, in front of your eyes, you will not notice it. Your mind will be engaged in a very deep thought. Someone not doing meditation will notice movements of even an ant. This state of mind is called Jakradai, which is Viripanilai. It is a state of wakefulness with your eyes wide open. Next stage is a state of dreaming. In this state, you will be dreaming. You are neither awake nor asleep. Next stage is a state of sleeping. In this state, you will forget whether you are awake or not. It is called the state of sleeping, urakam. Up to this stage, there is no jnanam involved. It is a type of sleeping. Next stage is turiyam. It is the state of losing oneself completely with jnanam. The final stage is turiyatetam. In this stage, one will merge with the Almighty without any individual identity. You will lose all consciousness. This is real meditation. Nayana mirandum nasi mel vaitittu. Keep both the eyes focused on top of the nose. Uyarvela vaayuvai ulle adakki. Keep the outgoing breath inside. Tuyarara naadiye thoonga vallarku. Sorrows will be erased by maintaining the flow through sukshama nadi in a state of deep sleep. Payanithu kaayam bayamillai daane. It will be a great benefit to the body and there is no need to be afraid of death. Siddhar Tirumular explains the process of dhyanam, meditation, and its benefit in the above stanza in the chapter on Atanga Yogam under the section Dhyanam in his magnum opus Tirumandiram. It must be performed according to the instructions of a God-realized Raja Yogam Guru. Disciple. What is Raja Yogam? Guru. Vindu, which is a physical Vindu called as Jivan and Kundalini Shakti. Nadam, the divine melody, also called as Atma, soul, Sukshama Vindu, and Shivam, and life, which is breath, control the 5 senses in our body. The purpose of human life is to end the cycle of birth and death, realize the God within you, attain the everlasting bliss and love, and finally become part of the effulgent divine light. The meaning of Yogam is becoming one. Knowledge of this is called Raja Yogam. It is also called King of Yogas. It is not a religious practice, it is a way of life and originated before all the religions of the world. The founder and master of this yogam is Shivam. Shivam means pure love. Shivam and love is one and the same. Because of this, it is called Shiva Raja Yogam. He imparted this yogam first to his wife Parvati and the 7 ancient saints called Saptarishis at Mount Kailasam. The ancient Siddhar Agathiyar, the great saint, is one among them. Siddhar Agathiyar, the great saint, started propagating this in Tamil language and is popularly known as Siddhar tradition of the Shiva Raja Yogam or simply called Raja Yogam. Siddhar Tirumular, the emperor of 8-part Attanga Yogam, also got instructions directly from Lord Shivam along with other few sages, and Saint Patanjali propagated it in North India, which is called Patanjali Yogam. Siddhar Tirumular settled in Tamil Nadu. Tirumular distilled all his learning and experiences and composed his magnum opus Tirumandiram in Tamil language, comprising 3000 mantrams, which are stanzas divided into 9 tantrams, chapters. Tirumandiram has no equal in this world on all the aspects of human anatomy, childbirth, family life, the relationship between the disciple and the guru, stages of God realization, achieving the 8 paranormal, which is Attama Siddhi's abilities, retaining the life to achieve immortality, step-by-step procedure in the form of 8-part yogam called Attanga Yogam to realize God and everlasting bliss and love. He had coined the immortal lines, Ondre Kulam, Oruvane Devan, meaning there is only one community and only one God. And the first one to state that God is love, Anbe Shivam, and sharing his bliss throughout the world in Yan Petra Yinvam Peruga Ivvayagam. The end result of the Raja Yogam is to realize the God within you, attain everlasting bliss, merging with the effulgent divine light form of the one and only God of pure love, and finally ending the birth and death cycle. Disciple, please explain about the Raja Yogam instructions and practice. Guru. One must learn Raja Yogam lessons from a guru who had mastered all the instructions and lessons learned from his God-realized guru, and by practicing it without any break. After learning your instructions from such an enlightened guru, you must practice it regularly without any break. You must not imagine that you have reached the path of jnanam just by learning the first lesson from the guru. The beginner must bear in their mind that just learning one lesson from the guru may not take them to God realization. One must not boast themselves as a jnani just by learning few instructions from the guru. The first lesson alone will not take you to the path of jnanam. It is like a foundation of building our home. To completely build our home, there are many things to be completed before it's ready for our occupation. Similarly, we must learn all the lessons from the guru and practice regularly to refine our mind and continue the Raja Yogam practice to embark on the path of jnanam. The first couple of lessons will refine the mind if one practices them as per Guru's instructions. Mind will not be disturbed by the outside thoughts coming inside. If our breath goes out, then only everything waiting outside will get inside to disturb the mind. If our breath is retained inside, then there are fewer chances for the outside thoughts to enter us. It is like closing your door. This will not allow outsiders to enter your home. If you keep your door open, then whatever goes in the street will come inside. If we keep our mind open, then all the unwanted thoughts will enter our mind. If the entrance of our mind is kept closed, then nothing will enter, and we will not be disturbed. We will stop with our own thoughts. These initial lessons will help only for this. To attain jnanam, one must put their heart and mind to learn all the lessons and instructions within the available time, because we have lost many years. After learning all the lessons, one must continue to practice in full faith in its entirety. One must be committed to the truth that even if I miss to realize God in this life, definitely I will realize God in my next life. Those who are committed to the above truth will definitely reap excellent benefits in this life itself. Under the lineage of the Siddharagatiyar, the great saint and his friend and contemporary Siddhar Thirumolar, the emperor of 8-part Ashtanga Yogam, it is said that there are 90 million, which is Navakodi, 9 crore Siddhas who had realized God. Among them, the 18 Siddhas are the very famous ones who had become immortals and guiding the chosen ones even today. Hence, this Raja Yogam was practiced as a way of life in South India, notably in the land of Tamil, and gradually lost its prominence due to the onslaught of alien cultures and religions. Again, it is gaining prominence in various forms of yogic practices. However, the original Raja Yogam founded by the ancient Siddhas is taught in person, no online courses, on full moon days as practiced in ancient times to the spiritual seekers in our Brahma Sutra Kuru Padasalai on the outskirts of Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Disciple. Why our Gurunadhar gives Raja Yogam instructions during the full moon? Guru. The object I, the Atma, is in the form of effulgent divine light. Light is beneficial to human beings. Full moon light is also beneficial to human beings. Only in light we could see everything clearly. Light is essential for our life. At the same time, the light must radiate within us. To glow that light within our disciples, I must give Raja Yogam instructions at our ashramam only during the days of bright light like full moon. There are people who give instructions in the dark and moonless day, which is new moon days. They are black magicians engaged in black magic to create sufferings and troubles for others. We don't have any relation with the new moon days. We have relationship and attachment only with the full moon. Your Atma is effulgent divine light and is very bright. The sky on the full moon day is also very bright. Ancient Siddhas and saints had established the tradition of teaching Raja Yogam during the full moon. This is to make the instructions effective because the disciples must see the 3 lights to complete their practice of realizing God. The first light is the light of your life. The second is the effulgent divine light of your Atma. The third light is the effulgent divine light of God. All these 3 are in the form of effulgent divine light only. Hence, Raja Yogam instructions from ancient times were taught on full moon days. Disciple. Are our Raja Yogam instructions for men only, or women are also allowed? Guru. Life is common for men and women. Women do not have a different life. Women also have a figure and form, and men also have a figure and form. We differentiate between men and women based on the body only. But within the body, there is Atma. Atma is neither a male nor a female. Similarly, the life is neither a male nor a female. Our Vindu is also neither male or female. All these important things inside our body are one and the same for both men and women. In our ashramam, we are not giving instructions and lessons for the body. We are giving lessons and instructions only for the life. Differentiation between men and women is not necessary to attain God. There is no separate rule for men and women. God is equal to men and women and all the living beings in this world. The purpose of our Brahma Sutra Kuru is to give instructions to everyone without differentiating between men and women to reach God. It is not necessary to look at the difference between men and women once inside the ashramam. There is only one relationship, that is between Guru and the disciple inside the ashramam. Disciple. What are Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam as per the Siddhar Thirumolar? Guru. As per the magnum opus Thirumandiram composed by the emperor of 8-part Yogam, Ashtanga Yogam, Raja Yogam, Siddhar Thirumolar, the Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam are the 4 stages in God realization. The end result is the effervescent love on everything, an everlasting blissful state with unrestrained wisdom as per his following composition. Uyir kuirai nitral on jnana pusai, treating every being like our own self is the jnanam. Uyir koli nokkal, maga yoga pusai, vision of the effulgent divine light of the Atma is the Yogam. Uyir perumava ganam pura pusai, establishing the inner divine light of the Atma or an outside object for worship is Kriyai. Seyarkadai nesan jivappu seyyame. Worshipping an outside form of God with love is Sariyai. Sariyai is following the path of our ancestors religiously without thinking or questioning about it. Kriyai means accepting that there is God. There is a name for it. There are hymns composed on it. Performing ritualistic prayers to God by singing devotional hymns, Yogam is neither Sariyai nor Kriyai. Yogam is another way to realize God. After performing either Sariyai or Kriyai, or both for many births or many years during the current birth, one will find out that it will not take one towards the realization of God. These are the initial steps that will lead one towards Yogam. Jnanam is attained when one follows the path of Yogam and realizes the God. The journey towards realization of God is Yogam, and the realization is Jnanam. In all the 4 stages, a devotee must adhere to the principles of Iyamam, which are the ethical rules, the don'ts, and activities to be avoided like killing, eating non-vegetarian food, avarice, untruthfulness, adultery, consuming alcohol, etc. And Niyamam, the activities to be followed like purity of mind, body and speech, truthfulness, contentment and self-discipline, etc. of the 8-part Ashtanga Yogam. By paying attention to moral principles, developing discipline and accepting responsibility, purification at the external level starts to manifest. Sariyai is the first stage. In this step, an individual or a devotee worships a deity. The deity can be any form of God liked by the devotee. The deity is considered to be a god in the full form. The devotee worships and serves the deity by cleaning, bathing, decorating, lighting a lamp, and incense, etc. The devotee continually engages in serving God in the form of the chosen deity by directing all thoughts and actions towards this activity, which helps to focus the mind. Nadum Nagaramum Nattiru Koilum, around the country, cities and temples, தேடித் திரிந்து சிவபெருமான் என்று, go around and search for Lord Shiva. பாடுமென் பாடி பணிமென் பணிந்தபின், sing the glories and worship with the prayers of love, கூடிய நெஞ்சத்து கோயிலா கொள்வனே. The Lord takes residence in such a devoted heart. A deep love for God develops in the mind and heart of the devotee. According to Siddhartha Molar, the first stage Sariyai also encompasses portions of all the stages of Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam. Kriyai is the second stage in the spiritual evolution. As one matures in Sariyai, like a fruit which ripens on the tree but is not yet ready to fall off, the soul develops a greater longing to be one with the supreme consciousness, and Sariyai falls short on this. Kriyai is characterized by a combination of external worship to a deity and devotion to divinity within. In this stage, the devotee is advancing from worshipping a concrete and external form to recognizing that energy within. Consequently, this reduces the amount of time spent in external worship of the deity, making way for internal worship. This involves chanting mantrams and singing the devotional hymns composed by the saints. This chanting helps calm the mind. A spiritual master or a guru is needed at this stage to guide the devotee towards the selection of mantrams suitable for the individual. In this stage, the devotee feels increasingly closer to the divine as it starts to blossom within. Siddhartha Molar reiterates that the second stage of Kriyai also encompasses portions of all the stages of Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam. Yogam, 8-part Ashtanga Yogam, is the third stage after the maturation of Kriyai. Raja Yogam is one of the important and well-established Yogam traditions by the ancient Siddhas for realization of God. Yogam is not to be confused with Yogasanams, which is yoga postures. Although Yogasanam is one of the steps in 8-part Ashtanga Yogam, in Yogam or Raja Yogam, there is a full maturity of the mind, and the spiritual seeker is able to bring the mind to total silence and able to experience the effulgent divine light form of God. There is detachment from all the materialistic worldly objects. Yoga Chamayame Yogam Palavunnal. Thinking about the valuable yogic techniques is called the way of Yogam. Yoga Visedame Ashtanga Yogamam. The special Yogam is called the 8-part Ashtanga Yogam. Yoga Nirvaname Yutra Parodayam. The realization of the Yogam is the vision of the effulgent divine light. Yoga Abhidegame On Siddhi Utrale. The ultimate stage of the divine path in Yogam is attaining Siddhi. Here the emphasis is on the withdrawal from the external sensory stimuli to perform internal purification. The inner purification is done at several different levels: physical, mental and emotional. The 8 parts of the Ashtanga Yogam are Iyamam, bad activities to be avoided; Niyamam, good activities to be followed; Asanam, practicing physical posture; Pranayamam, harnessing the perfection of breath; Pratyaharam, withdrawing of mind and senses; Dharanai, single-minded focus on the 7 yoga chakrams; Dhyanam, withdrawal of the mind inwards and meditation; and Samadhi, union or becoming one with the effulgent divine light. At this stage, the spiritual seeker is fully prepared to enter the final stage of Jnanam. As stated earlier by Siddhartha Ramolar, the third stage Yogam also encompasses portions of all the stages of Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam. Jnanam is the fourth and final stage of spiritual evolution on this earth to attain everlasting bliss by following the instructions of a God-realized Raja Yoga Guru. This stage is one of pure knowledge and knowing. This is not intellectual knowledge or intuitive learning, but is knowledge gained through direct inner experience. The spiritual seeker who has reached this stage need not perform rigorous practices of Sariyai and Kriyai, such as worshipping the deity, performing prayers and chanting mantrams. The disciple or the spiritual seeker experiences everlasting bliss called moksham, which is liberation or free from all bondages, while living in this world itself. Everything becomes bright and the seeker enters into the effulgent divine light, which is the source of creation and manifestation. One experiences jnanam, which is real knowledge as it shows itself. In this stage, the spiritual seeker effortlessly goes into dhyanam, which is uninterrupted meditation, and samadhi as laid in the 8-part Ashtanga Yogam or the Raja Yogam. This stage is absolute bliss. The spiritual seeker and the effulgent divine light become one. There is no difference. However, the God-realized persons will continue to live in this world, radiating love towards every living being till the last day of their life by performing all the duties of a normal person without any attachment. The fourth stage, Jnanam, also encompasses portions of all the stages of Sariyai, Kriyai, Yogam and Jnanam. Jnani Kudan Guna Jnanathal Nanguma. Jnani in Jnanam has 4 attributes. Monikivai Ondrung Goda Mun Mogithu. Moni does not have these and is in a state beyond self. Menitralan Jatti Vittai Vilaindidu. They are endowed with the benefits of the Kundalini Shakti. Tani Kulattor Sariyai Kiriyaye. These are the Sariyai in Jnanam and Kriyai in Jnanam for the one established in the Yoga Chakrams. A Jnani is a spiritual seeker who is in the first stage within Jnanam, that is Sariyai within Jnanam. In this stage, all the effects of both good and bad deeds are cleared. In the next stage of Kriyai, within Jnanam, the seeker will witness the form of God as effulgent divine light. In the next stage of Yogam, within Jnanam, the seeker will be cleared of all the 3 obstacles, which is Mummalangal, and attain a state of Mukti called Suttan. In the last step of Jnanam, within Jnanam, the seeker will enjoy the eternal bliss called Anandam. A Moni is the God-realized spiritual seeker who has reached last step of Jnanam within Jnanam. Disciple. Which is true spirituality? Guru. Meaning of spirituality differs from religion to religion. There are lots of differences between bhakti and spirituality. Going to temples and praying to gods is called bhakti without knowing whether God is there or not, whether it is just a statue. Worshipping what is there is called bhakti. Spirituality according to Raja Yogam, founded by ancient siddhas and jnanis, is the following. There are 2 types of Vindu in our body. The first one is the physical Vindu or Kundalini Shakti, and the second one is Sukshma Vindu called Shivam, which is not visible and resides at the top of our head. Spirituality is the process of combining these 2 through the 8-part Ashtanga Yogam. During the process of combining them, the practitioner will realize what is God. The method of combining these 2 is the path of spirituality. It is the path of searching for God within you, attaining everlasting bliss and love, merging with the effulgent divine light, and finally ending the birth and death cycle. Disciple. What is the use of spirituality in the modern age of science? Guru. Modern science is developed only from spirituality. Science had not developed at the time of creation of human beings. Modern science developed only in the last 1000 years. Before modern science, our ancient siddhas had established 7 days in a week and named them based on the names of the 7 major planets in our solar system. Only Raja Yogam spiritual science laid the foundation for modern science. It happened because, in those days, the God-realized Raja Yogam siddhas had unique and special knowledge about everything in this universe. Because of this unique ability, they were able to live in their physical body in this world, and at the same time perform astral travel to other places in the universe with their Atma carried out research on the planetary movement, characteristics, location, orbiting speed, and compiled data in the form of almanac with all the celestial events which form the basis for modern astronomy. Modern astronomy describes planet Mars as red in color. Our ancient Siddhas have named the planet Mars in the Tamil language as Sevvai, meaning as red-colored planet. Siddhas had the capability to see the universe through their yogic vision of the universe attained by Raja Yogam. Siddhas can also perform astral travel around the universe. Hence, our Raja Yogam spiritual knowledge about the universe laid the foundation for modern science. Astronomers and astronauts who travel in the space find that there is a sound coming from a faraway place. It is reverberating throughout the universe as the divine melody, Om. Our Raja Yogam Siddhas have found this divine melody from the space is also continuously resonating within the body and established it as the basis for our spiritual practice to realize God.